Hey gang, Troy W. Hudson, and I am joined by my good pal over here, Kazoo. It is the VoiceOver Weekly Stew. I am the voiceover with personality, and it's Friday. Yes, we made it. It's March 19th. Can you believe it? Sporting the green today, not because it's post St. Patrick's Day, because green's a cool color, and I'm just green all over. I'm not green with envy. I'm green with compassion, peace, and love. Yes. See? I didn't make this thing up. I'm green. I'm all green. It wasn't just a St. Patty's thing. How you guys doing? Yeah, the VoiceOver Weekly Stew is live right now on LinkedIn, I think. I hope. It's live on YouTube, and it is live on Facebook, personal and business channel. And yeah, we made it to Friday. How about it? And as usual, I go into this thing flying by the seat of my pants. And if you think about that term for a second, flying by the seat of your pants. Has anyone ever flown by the seat of their pants? I mean, are there wings? Just, something to ponder. Look that up, Google that. Flying by the seat of your pants. Where did that come from? Somebody tried it at some point, and legal got involved in it, and so we can't do it anymore. But nonetheless, how you guys doing? Seriously. We made it to Friday. For me, it was kind of a blur. I'll show you a quick look at my calendar. Life in the fast lane, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Did a lot of video editing this week. A lot of video editing. Oh, thank you, by the way, for joining me for the live. I did not mean to neglect you. There are some very important people there. You know who you are. Wayne, thank you for joining me. Wayne, I have not seen you on the live before. Thank you, sir. You asked a question earlier about who does that intro tune. I actually found it on a royalty-free site. I don't remember the actual composer or musicians, but it was found on audioblocks.com, and it was free to use, and I thought it was pretty smoking, so I decided to use it. And my boy, Sparky, little Sparky, if you've not seen him, there are pictures available a couple of episodes ago of the little man. He's a Maltipoo, I want to say about 9-10 weeks. I'll be corrected if I'm incorrect. But I am very proud of him. He is my little furry son. He's about yay tall. And he apparently likes that music too, so he was jamming. Anyway. Hi, sweetie. So anyway, I was talking to the lady in the picture, not the dog. Yeah, this was a look at my calendar. All that red you see, I think the mouse is on it, somewhere in there. It was all video editing right there. So I had a lot of After Effects animation work. If you're familiar with After Effects, it's an animation program. 2D stuff, nothing like crazy cartoony, but like making body parts move and expressions and eyebrows for a project that I'm doing for the University of South Carolina College of Social Work. And so you're like, why are you doing animation? And because they're paying me to do animation. I used to be a video editor for about 20 some odd years, and those network connections still exist. So it's a great, cool thing to do. Back in the day, I'm going to jump out of this real quick. Back in the day, I used to do it 8-10 hours a day, 5-6 days a week, and that's all I did before I, started doing voiceover work. And I like to say there's a season for everything, and I think I had a patience and a level for that sort of thing that I could sit in the chair and stare at a monitor and just kind of click things and move things in small increments and adjust things and replay things 50, 100, 200 times a day, scrub through timelines. And I don't have nearly that same level of patience to focus on that kind of stuff for nearly as long. But nonetheless, I blocked out several hours each afternoon, or I had them blocked out. There was actually only about 2 of those days I actually worked on it. And so it's interesting how as you progress in your career that you kind of migrate or transition from one even media type, in my case, to another. video editing and After Effects comps, they're so time intensive. Websites the same thing. I dabbled in that for a few years too. Graphic design is along that same line. For me, it at the time it was just I was so into it, and that was really I felt like my calling to do that. And then, hey Hannah, how are you? And then all of a sudden, I get laid off 8 years ago, and while I still did some video editing to make ends meet during the transition to VO work, it really kind of ran its course. But at the same time, it's not something you want to stop doing because it still makes you money. It's just not your primary source of income nor your primary passion of things you really want to do. Whereas going into voiceover, there was like this immediate, you get the script, you look at the copy, you tell the story, boom, it's out the door, it's gone. And there's not a whole lot of variables involved except, can you put more emphasis on this, or this is the vibe we're going for, as opposed to digging through hours and hours of revision work in a video. That being said, like I mentioned, if we go back to the calendar real quick, I did do a lot of video editing work this week, and I'm going to share two of the projects with you in just a second for a company called Media Monitors. And they are a subsidiary. I'm not sure exactly how the business relationship works with RCS Works, the world's largest broadcast automation software for stations. If you're a radio DJ or if you are in the radio business, you probably have heard of either Media Monitors or RCS Works. Well, they contacted me several years ago, started me with some VO work for them, and then they discovered I could do video editing and animation work for them, and so they began to hire me for the total package. And I've done numerous product videos for them for their YouTube channel. This one that I'm going to share with you is a new thing called Media Monitors MM Attribution 2. I'm sorry, MM Attribution is the name of the monitoring software. Two different videos. This first one was the traditional one they normally have me do, which is they like to have me take screen grabs of the actual software, and it's kind of like tutorial show off, highlight these very non-glamorous screen grabs, but with B-roll and to try to make it sexy, for lack of a better term. I don't like that term. They like me to kind of jazz it up a little bit with music, and I do the voiceover and put effects in there. Anyway, this is the traditional approach, and then I'll come back and then I'll intro another approach they decided to go with. Same program, different approach, and so I had fun doing both of them. Here's the first one, Media Monitors Attribution, boom.
Media Monitors Attribution is a powerful data visualization platform that includes rich, interactive, and easy-to-read insights. With MM Attribution, you see detailed data presented in a single summarized graph comparing an advertiser's broadcast instances with their website sessions or another relevant website metric. Each insight includes radio, TV, and cable ad instances generated from Media Monitors and website data powered automatically by Google Analytics. Here you can visually see the results in comparing broadcast instances with website sessions over a month. The bars chart represents the media instances and the line chart represents the website sessions. By clicking on a specific media in the bar chart, such as radio in this case, you can easily see the radio instances delivered that day. Then by clicking on the line chart, you quickly see the detail for website traffic on that day. By running a report over a greater time period, you begin to see trends and outliers in the data to then make adjustments to your media mix or campaign creatives. This tool provides a simple way for advertisers to determine the effectiveness of their campaigns or ad creative. Insights show which media mix or creative drives the greatest activity on an advertiser's website. Sophisticated advertisers can optimize their media spend to only buy ads on stations or media channels that generate the greatest results for their business. MM Attribution's the next powerful platform provided by Media Monitors, the leader in local media monitoring.
So yeah, that was kind of fun to do. Lots of After Effects, lots of things thrown in there. You probably heard they like the reverb effect on the voice, so they like to give it a little more of that radio-ish sound, I guess, is for lack of a better term. And those graphics were actually, I found a cool site called BusyBox, BUSYBOXX, where you could buy a bunch of different effects that you could bring into I should say projects you could bring into After Effects and modify the text and make them say whatever you wanted to make them say because they were editable. And there were like probably hundreds of different ways to bring that in. And so I found a particular thing that worked for that, plugged the graphics in there, and just changed them out. And it added a little more interest than just sliding in a word or having it type on the screen. So that was kind of a cool thing I discovered. It was like $20, and I'll probably get, hours and hours and hours of use for it. So it more than will pay for itself. So that was the Media Monitors Attribution first version with the traditional kind of jazz it up and make the screen grabs look interesting, throw in some B-rolls, overlay some effects, and do the music and the echo, the reverb for the voiceover. This next one is more a traditional, just like find some B-roll shots on some stock footage libraries. And the story behind this is that what you'll see, it's only like I think it's a minute-long video, maybe a minute and 20. Same product, Media Monitors Attribution, but they didn't want it to be with the screen grabs. They didn't want to show the software. They just wanted it to be kind of an image piece to just talk about it and say it was cool. It was a cool product. Throw the logo up there, but that was about it. So the difference is the producer sent me to the client sent me to a site called Shutterstock that has some really nice stock video footage on it, where we normally use Storyblocks, storyblocks.com. Also, Audioblocks is where I get my music. But Storyblocks, it has a decent library of stuff, and we've used that in the past. I pay for a subscription, and I use it for other people too. And they usually got some pretty good stuff. But Shutterstock, the client was able to find some more high-end quality stock footage. The only problem was to buy it per clip was like $80 or $85 per clip of high-def video. So when we originally storyboarded it, she sent me this list of suggested shots, and then I came back and looked at it and added to that and switched some out based on the script. Like I said, it was about a minute and 20, but it needed to move along pretty fast. And so in the end, it would have cost more in stock footage costs to buy all those individual clips than they were paying me to even edit it. And so it was not cost prohibitive to do that. So what I did is I systematically went through, I looked at the footage, the clip, and tried to find, on Shutterstock, the sample clip, and tried to find something that was as close as possible on Storyblocks that would match it in quality and in a similar shot. So ended up doing that and probably saving them, I don't know, $500, $600, $700 when it was all totaled up, probably in the $700 range, because it was about 8, 9 clips. Do the math. And so they were very happy with it. They didn't have to spend an extra $700 or so. And so, yeah, taking that extra step sometimes, still making it look good. Here it is, Media Monitors Attribution, the stock footage version.
In advertising, there's a famous saying, half the money I spend on advertising's wasted. The trouble is, I don't know which half. With the proliferation of advertising platforms, advertisers and their agencies continue to struggle to find an answer. Now, from Media Monitors, meet MM Attribution, an incredibly powerful tool that finally addresses what is the effectiveness of your advertising campaign across media. Which creative works and which doesn't. With MM Attribution, don't rely on half a story, instead discover the big picture. Know exactly how broadcast media impacts your website with the only company that has a holistic view of the advertising landscape. MM Attribution, only from Media Monitors, the leader in local media monitoring.
So there you go. That was the Media Monitor's stock footage version. And again, the only shot they ended up using from Shutterstock was the lady disc jockey that turned with the on-air light on as the shot kind of slowly tracked across. But other than that, that all came from Storyblocks. So yeah, saving them money, still delivering an exceptional product. They didn't even have revisions on that, which is always cool. So yeah, that was fun in video editing for me. Thank you, Tammy. I want to bring your picture up because, I want to tell you something. I love you. Yes, I do. Okay, didn't get too distracted, but I just had to do that. Yes! If you know the story, if you don't know the story, there's a story. So what else happened this week? Well, Kazoo, what happened? Really? That happened? Yeah, finally went back to the dentist. I always think of the old Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer program, the Rankin and Bass version with, what was his name? Was it Hermie? Hermie, the one who wanted to be a dentist. Was it Hermie? I think it was. Anyway, so when I think of dentists, I always think of that guy. But my dentist, Dr. Forbes, in Columbia, South Carolina, is nothing like Hermie. He's not an elf or a toy maker. He is an excellent dentist, and it had been since, I hate to say it, because I was really good about going and taking care of the choppers. As a voice actor, you can imagine, as anybody, but as a voice actor, the importance of good oral health and checking on the teeth and the gums and making sure everything's working right. The mouth is healthy. That's kind of a big deal. And I used to, I want to say for at least 3 or 4 years, I had made a commitment to go every 6 months. Last year, weirdness happened. Last August, I was feeling kind of sick. The access to exams and cleanings were limited because of COVID stuff. So I was due in August to go, but I didn't go because I was feeling sick. So I didn't want to go in. I wasn't sure if I had it. I didn't have it. But I was still not feeling well, and there was no need to go in and, and do that while I was feverish. So the previous time I had been in was last February, 6 months before August of last year. And so I was having some issues with sensitivity to a tooth, and I figured, I need to make an exam and get back in there, get back on this every 6 month routine because it is important. And so I got in there. The tooth was not irritating me anymore, but I got a chance to see my Dr. Forbes dentist guy, and the staff's always nice and friendly. And so they examined, everything was cool. I'm going back in next month because they were really booked up. They didn't have time to do the cleaning, but everything looked good. So that's always a good thing, to sit in the dentist chair and they say, your gums are healthy, your teeth are healthy, the x-rays are clean. Dude, just keep doing what you're doing. Go home and floss. And so I need to add that to the shopping list, by the way. If I haven't, sweetheart, I need to put dental floss on there. I want to make sure I keep these nice and shiny and clean so I can talk and do stuff. So if you're a voice actor and you're not making dental appointments, you should really do it, because I went through a stage where I had to have a couple of molars removed in the back, and I cracked a tooth. And believe me, when things start shifting and moving around in there, you do. See, we are so responsible. We like to floss. And I learned that from her, actually. She inspired me to floss, and I didn't for a long time, and I should have. And let that be a lesson, gentlemen. Listen to the ladies that love you. They want only the best for you. And if they tell you to floss, floss. It's important. So yeah, I think, the dental exam I got to, talked about the video editing. You probably didn't really pay attention to the calendar, but a lot of the things on there, it was a really, really wild week because it was all over the board. Commercial work, I always have that several slots during the week, local and otherwise. E-learning was really, really fun because all of the major groups that I worked with had projects for me this past week. EWN, Texas. How y'all doing? Mosaic out in California. Lots of work for PG&E. Kornikokosing had several projects for me. Yoda, based in India, had several projects for me, a couple of projects, I should say. And WebPres, based down in Puerto Rico, had, I know that's not how you say it, but it's always fun to try. Thankfully, they don't need that. But Dan and Robin down in, with WebPres called on me 3 times this past week, I believe, to do work. So that's what's been happening in my VO biz this week. Now, stuff on my mind. I always put that under the caption of what am I going to talk about? And more times than not, I don't 100% know until it gets closer to Friday. And I look at my calendar and say, well, I could share this or share that, or I don't have permission to share that, so I can't share that. And I can't mention that because it's not clear to mention. But I mentioned what I could. I talk about the folks that I love to work with. Some really good personal stuff coming up next week. Monday. I will not be in the studio because I will be celebrating. We will be driving south from Columbia to the Charleston area to celebrate our youngest granddaughter's first birthday. Yes, the official day, little bunny Julia will be 1. Oh no. And the amazing thing is, just this past week, we got sent a video, and that little girl is walking. She is walking. I would call it more like running across the kitchen floor. So we're really excited about that. We get to actually spend the day with the grandbaby. Yo, how awesome is that? So Tammy and I are very excited about that, going down there. So no in-studio work on Monday. So I've kind of delayed things for folks that needed stuff. I was cranking it out today. No weekend work. I mentioned that last week, that I was scaling back. And unless it is an emergency, you will not see me. Well, I will not see the studio on either Saturday or Sunday unless it is an emergency. And it would have to be something huge, or just for a regular client that needed a last-minute thing, and of course I would take care of them. But no regularly scheduled work on the weekends anymore, because life's more important and time is short. So Julia's first birthday on Monday, and then we've actually got family flying in as I speak, flying in from Denver, Colorado. Another part of the clan with 2 grandbabies who will be hanging out and staying with Grandpa and Tamar middle of next week for a day or 2, which will be awesome. So there will be limited time in the studio because I want to get as much of that time as I can. Claire and Jack are going to be in town. Claire and Jack are going to be in Colatown. So it's going to be like hanging with the grandbaby, Julia, birthday on Monday. Then midweek, it'll be Claire and Jack grandbaby time. And then the mother load of reunions takes place next weekend. I need to check my calendar, as a matter of fact. I need to check my calendar real quick. Oh, that's the following weekend. Let me go to my calendar and see what next week looks like. Okay, so here's what's going to happen. Oh, that's not me. Where did I go? There I am. Here's what's going to happen. Next Friday, it will be day 1 of a big family reunion. What's happening is granddaughter Julia's birthday is on Monday, the 22nd. She'll be 1. But to get everybody in town to celebrate it, there are family members, aunts and uncles who have not seen this precious baby. They have not seen this precious little girl because of COVID stuff and because of restrictions and travel and all this other stuff. Everyone is flying in. We've got folks flying in, driving in from Florida, Fort Lauderdale. Grandson of mine, daughter, and significant Utta are coming up on sometime next week, and then we'll all converge in the Charleston area for the official Julia birthday party. So all 4 grandkids will be in one place. All 4 adult kids will be in one place. Tammy and I will be there officially together. So, and spouses and significant others, we will all be there together. It's going to be so awesome. It is years in the making. Years in the making. And it took this beautiful, sweet granddaughter's birthday to bring it all together because it's just going to be a big party. So the Hudsons and the Jeffcoats are gonna party hard for at least a day, possibly 2 in that area. So there'll be an overnight stay involved. And so, yeah, it'll be hanging out time for the entire family. So it's going to be awesome. Party time, 1-year-old style. Yeah, it's going to be a blast. It's going to be a blast. So blessed that that's happening. So, yeah, I've got things to do. You probably do too. I've got this coming up at 6 p.m. Eastern in about 30 minutes. It's Scary Canary. If you've ever read any of the Clifford books, you kind of know when there's a canary that big, things are going to get a little wacky. Story time with Troy coming up at 6. Scary Canary will happen. And so that's going to be a fun thing to do. I'm trying to think, was there anything else I needed to get? No, those are all my notes. So yeah, I'm going to scoot out of here. I actually got out of here before 5:30. That's good. Yeah. So it's time to start the weekend. I have somebody special I need to go hang out with and spend time with, and I'm so excited about that. It's nice to have a life, isn't it? It really is. It's a big departure from the way things had been for me for several years of just kind of doing the by yourself thing. Batching it single, for me, no. I was meant to be with a beautiful bride-to-be, and I spend as much time as I possibly can with that sweet lady. And that cute little puppy dog, Sparky. I want to bring up a picture because some of y'all haven't seen Sparky. So before I go, I will bring up a picture of a puppy, and he might like it too, if he sees himself. Actually, I hope she doesn't mind, but I haven't asked permission, so I'm not going to do that. I'm going to bring up, I so want to do it, but I have not asked permission, so I won't. I want to bring up, okay, there we go. Can you see that? There he is. There's Sparky. That is the Sparkster. He is a firecracker, aptly named Sparky Bear. Sparky Bear, and he is quite the little mischief maker. But he's a good boy. He's a good boy, and he's a smart puppy. Oh, my goodness, he's a smart puppy. But crazy energy, and he is going to get to meet, Monday, he'll get to meet Julia for her birthday. And then midweek, he'll get to meet Claire and Jack. And then toward the latter part of the week, he'll get to meet Liam. So all 4 grandkids, and everybody's going to get a chance to love on him because, of course, we're bringing him to the party. What's a party? You can't have a party without a spark. And the Sparkster will be there. Yes. So, yeah, that's about all I got. You guys, be safe this weekend. Have fun. Live a little bit. But be responsible. Be responsible, please. Yeah, that's about all I got. I'm looking for the close. I'll find it eventually. I'll just keep talking till I do. I don't want to go there. I want to... I can't find it. Just talk amongst yourself while I'm looking. I think that's it. Okay, yeah. You guys be blessed. Be a blessing. I'll see you here at 6 if you're here on Facebook or YouTube for Scary Canary. Until then, I'm not sure how I'll do next week's live. I'll figure something out. I may do it on Thursday. I'm not sure. But regardless, be blessed. Be a blessing. God bless you all. Bye.